Hi, I'm Jeremy with Ramco. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the new industrial infrared temperature measurement sensor from Optex FA. This particular sensor, the SA series, is self-contained with a 4 to 20 milliamp linear output proportional to temperature. To interface this today, I'm going to take the output of the sensor to our Panasonic FP0R PLC with analog input card. This PLC is a really nice, small, compact PLC, and I'm going to interface that with this Panasonic GT series color touchscreen. It's also very nice color, high resolution touchscreen. So let's go ahead and see what this sensor can do. Okay, so what I have here is the SA series, like I mentioned, and this sensor detects the IR infrared radiation that emits off of materials and objects, and it's that infrared radiation that is then converted to a temperature measurement. So I have this sitting here, and I've got it going to the PLC with the HMI screen. There I've got a cup of coffee. Put the coffee underneath there, and you'll see that I'm reading somewhere around 130, 132 degrees Fahrenheit. Now if I take this and move it out of the way, it goes back to room temperature. And here I've got a cup of ice. It's beginning to melt. And when I put the cup of ice underneath, it immediately goes to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I take the ice back, I put the coffee under it, back up to 132. So you can see this particular sensor is very, very fast, high speed. And that's definitely one of the key features of this type of sensor, is the ability to accurately monitor temperature and do it at a very high rate of speed. So the analog output is taken to a Panasonic FP0R PLC, and I've got it going to a really, really nice Panasonic GT series color HMI screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to my computer and kind of show you how I have everything connected, and give you a good idea of how to incorporate this into your process. So I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so what I have here is I used Panasonic's FP Pro 7 to put this program together. And I've actually got a couple of other functions going on here that I'm not showing in this video, but the analog input card that I used for the temperature sensor is an FP0-A21. Now that's a little bit older card. There's a newer card, the FP0R-A21. The one that I'm using is a 12-bit card, and then they now have 14-bit cards. I actually have one of those connected to this as well, but the analog card is connected to the FP0-A21. It's actually a fairly simple process using ladder logic. There's a scale integer function right here where I take the input of the temperature sensor, and then I scale it to read out between 32 degrees and 752 degrees. And that's takes the analog to digital. So, and it's 4 milliamps at 20 milliamps. At 4 milliamps it's 800. At 20 milliamps it's 4000. And then this just scales it to read between 32 degrees and 752 degrees, which is the full scale for this SA series from Optex FA. Like I said, I have a couple other things in here that's going on, but for the purpose of this, the analog the output of this sensor. I've got a compare function here, and anytime the temperature drops below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, I have the output, the digital output, to turn on, which I have connected to the HMI screen to turn this light right here to blue, which you saw earlier in my demonstration. As far as the HMI screen, I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, so here's the HMI screen. This is a program called GT Win from Panasonic, and basically the main thing were a couple of different screens. I've got a few others that I have programmed in here, but what I'm showing here in this demo is the main startup screen with a little button here to take us to the temperature screen, which is shown here. And it's fairly simple. It's sort of a drag and drop type system. You can go in here and you can drag and drop different icons and buttons and indicating lights and things like that. So for instance, if I want to go in here and take a look at this information, the basic setup is the output. It's looking for address Y2, which, if you remember, that was the output screen on my program. So anytime the output is activated, this indicating light goes from red to blue. And here's the setup. You can go in here and you can change it to different colors. That's off screen right now, but I can go in here and adjust it to a different color. I could make it that color, looks like a brown or a green or whatever, but we will leave it blue. And then here is my output data, and the basic setup here is that I set it to retrieve the data from this address right here, which is my temperature data. And then there's just some basic functions for setting that up and changing it around. The other thing that I have is a trending chart where you can go in and look at the temperature data over time. So maybe I'll show that in a future video. But that's the basic setup for this sensor. And if you'd like to get more information on the SA40 series or the Panasonic PLC product lines, you can go to our website at ramconational.com, and we have a section that'll take you to our Panasonic section of our website, as well as a link to the Optex website. So both have a lot of good information. If you have any applications that you would like to discuss, please give us a call at 800-280-6933, or give us an email at nsales@ramcoi.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.